Hi, I did want to come back and spend a little more time with this particular slide because I think it's important to realize that the universality of our values, right? So our values are very much universal. Um, so what I've asked people to do is to kind of draw 5 circles to put one thing that they value in each one of those circles. And if we're in a classroom setting, what I typically do is ask people to go around the room and have people sign on things that are similar. Um, that they share. So the words may not necessarily be the same, but they are similar. And so when we do that activity, what typically comes out is this opportunity to recognize that even in our differences, we have similarities, right? And so it's important to recognize that values, um, particularly for human beings, are universal. However, depending on your context, what those values mean, how you reach those values, uh, how those values can be leveraged in a community. Those are things that oftentimes are can be different, right? And so, although we are very similar, how we achieve those goals and what those or those values and what those values mean may be very different. And so we oftentimes come into conflict on things that we actually don't have conflict on. Our conflict is actually in the methods to achieve either the goal or to assert the value. And so if we can think about the fact that we have very similar values, but our approaches to how those values get manifest or how we achieve the goals that those values are supposed to engender, that's when we can come to an understanding about how different that we're not, right? And we can come to some semblance of agreement that let's talk about the methods because I understand what you're after. All right, so I want to say thank you so much for joining us again, and we look forward to seeing who you become.